Have you ever wanted to be so special to someone that you are their first thought when they wake up and their last thought before they go to sleep? If your answer is yes, you have come to the right place. Today, let's discover together the secrets of becoming an unforgettable person. But let's not just talk about generating interest. Let's take it a step further and understand how to make your absence something that others really feel. The philosopher Seneca once said that absence makes love grow, while presence makes it stronger. How can we use this idea to make an impression so big that you'll be sorely missed when you're not there? Don't skip any part of this content, because each lesson is an important piece of the puzzle that will help you master the art of being memorable. Before we start, here's a little challenge for you. Write the words, "In my head tomorrow," in the comments. This simple and direct gesture will reinforce everything we're talking about here, and it'll also be fun to see how many of you join in. Now let's learn the 10 Stoic strategies that will not only make your presence memorable, but also desirable. Principle 1. Independence. You may be asking yourself, why do I miss my independence? The answer is simple. People who are complete in themselves are naturally more attractive and interesting. When you don't necessarily need the attention of others to feel good, but instead live your life with enthusiasm, focusing on your own interests and taking care of your needs, you end up creating a kind of attraction that's hard to ignore. Think about it. A person who is constantly busy developing himself, learning new things and living with joy arouses the curiosity of others. When you stop always being available and waiting for messages or meetings to feel happy, you create a healthy space in the relationship. This space is not a dividing wall, but rather a fertile ground in which both can grow as individuals. And what happens if you're not always there? The other person inevitably begins to wonder what you're up to. She remembers your lightness, independence, and full of life energy. Her mind starts to work, and then the feeling of longing comes over her. Suddenly your presence, which was already good, becomes even more desired. Self-sufficiency does not mean being cold or distant. On the contrary, it makes others admire your strength, respect your individuality, and want to be closer to you. When you're happy with yourself, your business becomes a gift, and who wouldn't want a gift like that nearby? Principle 2. Emotional control. If you want to be truly memorable, you must learn to control your emotions. This does not mean that you should hide your feelings, but rather that you should remain calm and collected, even in the most difficult moments. When you can act calmly in the face of challenges, you convey a strong, captivating, and highly respectable presence. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest thinkers. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Understanding this is like discovering a secret source of strength within yourself. When you accept that you cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can choose how to react at any time, you will become a lighter, wiser, and more magnetic person. People who react impulsively, screaming, crying, or exploding without thinking, often push those around them away. Respect decreases, interest disappears. On the other hand, those who can maintain solid emotional control, even when everything seems to be falling apart, arouse something else in others: curiosity, admiration, and even enchantment. When you control your emotions, your partners, friends, or colleagues wonder what is going on in your head. You realize that there is a depth within you, something mysterious and fascinating. And it's exactly this feeling that makes them miss you even more when you're away. Having emotional control doesn't mean being cold as stone or acting like a robot with no feelings. It means responding consciously rather than reacting impulsively. It means expressing your feelings consciously, balanced and truthfully. And it is precisely this emotional maturity that makes your presence valuable and your absence unforgettable. Principle 3. Intentional communication. Have you ever noticed how certain words can make someone remember you for hours or even days? Intentional communication is key to building that strong connection. Talking is easy, but when you choose your words carefully and purposefully, you transform every conversation into something unique and remarkable. It's like planting little seeds in the other person's mind, seeds that continue to grow even when you're no longer there. Seneca, a great thinker, said, "Speak so you can speak again." In other words, your words shouldn't just be noises thrown into the wind. You must leave a mark, a pleasant memory that makes the other person want to continue listening to you. Each of your sentences can be a bridge, a window, or an invitation to a more interesting and special universe. Instead of empty and repetitive conversations, bring more depth. Ask each other thought-provoking questions, share a funny comment, an intelligent observation, or even an inspiring story. A touch of humor, a different curiosity, a sincere compliment. All of these create moments that you won't soon forget. When you communicate with intention, you don't have to be present all the time. Your voice, your way of seeing the world, your well-chosen words echo in the other person's mind. And guess what? This makes her miss your energy, your presence, your unique way of turning even the simplest conversations into something special. If you want to be remembered, don't just speak to fill the silence. Speak to touch, inspire, and connect. And so, even in your absence, your presence remains alive in the minds of those you care about. Principle 4. Acceptance of absence. It may seem a little strange, but enjoying moments of absence can really bring two people closer together. Learning to deal well with times of separation creates a sense of anticipation and appreciation. Rather than weakening the bond, absence can enrich the relationship by making the reunion even more meaningful. Showing security while remaining distant is a sign of emotional maturity. By showing that you don't rely on the other person's constant presence to feel good, you convey the idea that your happiness is not tied to someone else, but to who you are. That in itself is admirable. You begin to be seen as someone who is strong, independent, and able to manage your own life without feeling the need to always be at someone else's side. And interestingly, this only increases his desire to be around you. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. That is, when you free yourself from the need to constantly be there for someone else, you gain a kind of freedom that is both rare and extremely attractive. You become someone who knows how to have fun alone, who has her own passions and her own moments. This will automatically make you more interesting. Instead of bombarding the other person with messages every free moment, let the silence do the work of creating mystery. This silence is not empty but full of potential. It creates space for the other person to question what you are doing and what you are thinking. And what happens with this kind of absence? They become the most anticipated part of the other person's day, the thought that pops up in the middle of work, before bed, or during a break. Absence does not keep people away if it is accepted and managed well. A unique dynamic emerges in which longing and curiosity become the ingredients that make the relationship grow. Instead of being predictable and always present, you become the most anticipated surprise, the most special part of every day. Principle 5. Mindfulness in interactions. Being truly present when you are with someone is one of the most powerful ways to leave a mark. If you give time and real attention to every conversation, every moment together, your presence will become unique and unforgettable. It's not just about being there physically, but also about being there with body and soul, listening carefully, responding sincerely, and engaging deeply with what is being said. Every word, every gesture becomes more meaningful when you are fully present. Marco Aurelio, one of history's greatest sages, advises us, "Do every act of your life as if it were your last." When you apply this philosophy to your interactions with those around you, every conversation becomes valuable. Imagine treating this moment every time you meet as if it were the last you would have with that person. This naturally leads you to devote your heart and soul to this moment, paying attention to the little details, the emotions that arise, and the connection that is created. When you act with presence and consideration in this way, your absence becomes even more noticeable. The other person begins to notice the quality of your attention and the affection you bring to the relationship. When you are not around, the absence of your presence becomes felt because interactions with you were different than with others. They were deep, true, and special. For example, Have you ever noticed that some people make you feel like you're the center of the world when they talk to you? They really listen to what you say. They care about how you feel, and this attention makes you feel unique and important. This is the magic of mindfulness. Applying this practice to your relationships will leave an impression that won't go away. And even if you're not there, the person will miss the energy and affection that you brought to that moment. If you've made it this far, it means these principles resonate with you. And if you don't like the video yet or haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time to do so. Your support is important and allows us to continue creating content that truly changes your life. We are here to help you become even more unforgettable. Now let's move on to the next 5 principles. They will further strengthen your ability to be remembered and desired. Stay with us and discover how you can deepen your journey to make a lasting impression in people's lives. The 6th principle is particularly important, so pay close attention to it. This is a crucial step to make them really miss you. Come on, it's just beginning. Principle 6. Consistency in communication. Maintaining constant, thoughtful communication can be one of the most effective ways to make your absence keenly felt when you're not around. But we're not talking about bombarding the person with messages all the time. The key here is to create a pattern, a rhythm of interactions that shows you are present without being over the top. It could be something simple like a good morning text, a quick midday check-in, or a recap of the good things that happened before bed. These small gestures become an important and reassuring part of the other person's daily routine. This regular pattern of communication goes beyond just staying in touch. A sense of continuity is created, something that the person begins to lovingly look forward to. For example, by sending a good morning message, you are giving a little of your time and attention at the beginning of the day, creating a feeling of closeness even if you are physically far apart. A simple, "How is your day?" in the afternoon, or a comforting word in the evening before going to bed, become gestures of care that create a reliable and lasting connection. This is what Seneca, one of the great philosophers of history, said, "Regularity is a sign of wisdom in communication." And he was right. Consistency in the way you communicate sends a clear message that you care about the relationship, and that you are willing to be a trusted presence in the other person's life. Even when life becomes hectic and full of obligations, maintaining this standard of communication ensures that your presence is felt and valued in a unique way. And when, for some reason, these interactions diminish or are interrupted, the absence is immediately noticeable. The person feels like something is missing, as if part of their day is incomplete. This happens because you have enmeshed yourself in that person's routine with your regular and attentive attention, creating a space that he, even unintentionally, does not fill when you are not there. Their presence, albeit in small doses, becomes part of their normality, their comfort, and their daily expectation. So maintaining consistent and meaningful communication not only keeps you present in someone's life, but also makes your absence more noticeable when you're not around. Principle 7. Purposeful living. A life full of meaning and purpose not only adds deep meaning to your daily life, but also makes you a more attractive and admirable person. When you pursue activities and passions that are truly important to you, you don't need anyone to fill your time or your happiness. Your goal becomes your own driving force, something that drives you forward with enthusiasm and dedication, which in turn attracts those around you. Determined people have a unique energy that cannot be ignored. They shine from within because they are motivated by something bigger than themselves. This rubs off on others and leaves a lasting impression. As Seneca wisely said, "If a man does not know to which port he is sailing, no wind is favorable." In other words, having a clear goal and direction in life is crucial to finding motivation and meaning. When you have this clarity, every step you take becomes more meaningful, and that affects the people around you too. Sharing your successes, challenges, and projects with others can show how vibrant and full of potential your life is. Your partner, friends, or colleagues not only notice your energy, but also feel inspired by it. You begin to admire the fact that you have something bigger in mind, something you are passionate about. And when you're not around, they not only miss your company, but also the vibrant energy and inspiration you bring into their lives. The key is to constantly grow and evolve. Every day should be an opportunity to improve and move forward on the journey you have chosen. When you share your experiences, your victories, and even your struggles, every conversation becomes a learning experience, a valuable exchange. This means that your presence will always be remembered with admiration and longing. Your purposeful life becomes not only a role model, but a constant source of motivation for others, making your absence even more acutely felt. But there is something important to understand. If you have been trying to get out of your comfort zone and learn more for a long time, but you still haven't succeeded, there may be something you are not aware of. I know what it could be. It's fear. Fear is like a snake that comes silently and affects you without you noticing. It makes you feel bad for days, months, and even years. Living like this is like being sick all the time. But I know a solution. Stoic philosophers and modern psychology have a way of eliminating this. I myself managed to heal myself from this fear. I made a video explaining how to get rid of this evil, and it is in the first comment. Click the link in the first comment and start healing that feeling of anxiety. Principle 8. Moderation in emotions. Balancing your emotions will not only make you more attractive, but also more trustworthy. If you can maintain calm and composure even in difficult times, people around you will notice your maturity and stability. Moderation of emotions is a powerful trait that instills confidence and balance, making others feel safer and more comfortable around you. To maintain the image of a balanced person, it is important to avoid impulsive reactions. In moments of anger or frustration, the temptation to overreact can often be strong, but by resisting it, you show that you are able to control your emotions and respond thoughtfully. Not only does this attitude make you stand out in a positive light, it also strengthens the way others perceive you, as someone who is mature, centered, and trustworthy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the wisest philosophers of all time, said something very interesting. The best revenge is to distinguish oneself from the one who committed the harm. In a relationship, this means that when someone acts thoughtlessly or aggressively, your reaction should not be impulsive or emotional. Instead, respond calmly and look for a solution that is constructive and not reactive. This ensures that your interactions are genuine and not motivated by fleeting or passing emotions. When you act in moderation, your partner begins to notice your emotional stability and appreciate the peace you bring to the relationship. They feel like they can rely on you in difficult times because they know you won't lose control easily. But be careful. Moderation does not mean coldness or indifference. It means having the gift of maintaining emotional balance even when the situations around you may be challenging. This will make your interactions deeper and more meaningful because instead of being reactive, you will become a source of stability and clarity. Your ability to maintain this emotional balance will create a healthier, more harmonious environment and an increased appreciation for your presence. And when you are not around, the person will not only miss your company, but also the calm and peace that you always bring with your emotional balance. Principle 9. Resilience in adversity. When you demonstrate resilience, the ability to overcome difficulties without becoming overwhelmed, you are a reliable and calming presence in the lives of those around you. Your ability to deal with life's challenges in a balanced manner and without losing control is extremely attractive. People admire those who manage to remain steadfast even in times of crisis and not let difficulties destroy them, but rather use them as an opportunity to grow and develop. Seneca, the great philosopher, left us a valuable lesson. A jewel cannot be polished without friction. No man is perfected without trials. In other words, difficulties shape us, make us stronger and wiser. When you can overcome obstacles with strength and grace, you not only grow as a person, but also inspire others around you. Your partner, friends, or family begin to realize that despite all odds, you are a rock in the surf, someone they can trust. The security and stability you represent become essential elements of any relationship. When you're not around, the lack of stability is palpable as people know they can count on you to weather any storm. But resilience isn't just about overcoming challenges without falling. It's also about maintaining a positive attitude, even in difficult times. This means viewing adversity with the mindset that it is temporary and that you will emerge stronger in the end. This kind of attitude makes you an emotional support, someone who is an example of hope and perseverance. Remaining calm and confident during difficult times will make your presence even more indispensable to those you love. They know that they will find support, understanding, and a sign of stability at your side, making your absence much more noticeable when you are not around. By being resilient, you not only face life's storms with courage, but you also inspire others to do the same. Your ability to remain steadfast without losing direction or hope is one of the greatest gifts you can give to those around you. Resilience, with its quiet and constant strength, makes its presence essential and irreplaceable. Principle 10. Consistency in character. Consistency at one's core is one of the keys to becoming a trustworthy and valuable presence in a person's life. When you are someone who keeps your promises, respects your partner, and acts with integrity, you create a solid foundation of trust. People know what to expect from you, and that predictability becomes a safe haven for them. This creates a safe environment where the other person knows they can be trusted for their word and actions, regardless of the circumstances. However, this consistency does not mean that it is so predictable that it becomes monotonous. The key is to find a balance between stability and surprise. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, taught us a valuable lesson. First, tell yourself what you want to be, and then do what you have to do. In other words, define who you want to be and live by it every day. When you live authentically and your actions align with your values, the people around you begin to trust you deeply. Your presence becomes an emotional anchor that provides comfort and security. However, it is also important to add a touch of spontaneity to keep the relationship lively and exciting. This can be done through small, unexpected gestures, such as a sweet surprise or message of support at an unexpected time. These subtle gestures break the routine and keep the flame of curiosity and enthusiasm burning. Your partner not only craves your consistency, but also the surprises you bring. This combination of stability and novelty creates perfect harmony and makes your presence not only desired but deeply valued. When you combine stability with elements of surprise, its absence becomes even more apparent. People miss not only the security you represent, but also the joy and enthusiasm you inspire with your unpredictable gestures. This mix of consistency and spontaneity makes it unforgettable and deeply nostalgic. People tend to value those that provide a secure base, but also bring moments of freshness and unexpected joy. Now think about the people you miss. What makes them stick in your memory? It's probably the experiences you've lived, the moments that touched your soul, and the emotions they aroused in you. This shows that in order to be deeply remembered, you have to make these special connections. It's not just about being physically present, but also about being present effectively. This can be through deep conversations, kind gestures, or simply creating unforgettable moments that touch the other person's heart. If you can balance your presence and absence in a way that evokes real emotion, people will naturally want to have you around. The way you present yourself to the world and engage with others leaves a lasting mark. Focus now on being the best version of yourself and use the present moment to cultivate habits and values that will make you someone you will always remember. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more insights into how Stoicism can transform your everyday life. And if you're committed to applying these principles, leave a comment below and write what you'll focus on tomorrow. Show that you are committed to putting what you have learned here into practice. Thank you for watching and for dedicating yourself to cultivating habits that make life truly worthwhile. Continue to be the person who is missed, not just today, but every day. See you in the next video. Until then.